Welcome to another episode of Jlopez Podcast. I'm your host, George, and today we have an amazing guest once again back in the scene. You guys seen it before, and he needs no introduction. Miguel Torres.
What's up? What's up?
What I do, boy?
What's up,
Back in
man?
the scene, man. Let's just this is gonna be a very interesting one, 2025. Let's give some people some 2024 experience we had.
Bro, what a ride.
What a ride, bro.
It started off small and it ended big. That's all I can say.
Yeah, yeah. So it's definitely been a year that I'm proud of. What are you feeling like 2024 was?
2024 for me was a lot of growth and exposure to a lot of new things, to what's to come for this year. I feel like it was a good prep year for me.
Yep.
Got to see what I needed to get better on. Definitely with sales. We'll work on that. But yeah, I got to see everything that's to come. And I got to see what this industry actually can offer for somebody.
Yeah, man.
So
You've been now officially working for Jlopez for about a year, and you've scaled even way beyond I thought you were gonna scale in this business because of your dedication. Tell us a little bit about that, man. What was your time put in not only to the company but also to yourself to be able to scale that fast?
I feel like at the end of the day, yeah, you have to care about the company, but you have to want it for yourself. You gotta know that you want to be or put yourself at this position, so you have to put in the work. Therefore, you're giving me the opportunity to do it through you, and I'm blessed to have that. So that's why I show up every day and do what I do.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
I
not
know
everybody. Yeah, not everybody has that same attitude towards
Well-
not only towards the company they're working. Because lately, what we seem to find in the industry, or not even in the industry, is people are just working for the dollar sign, man. People are just working to make a little bit of money, take it home. But
Yeah.
you showed above and beyond that. You showed not only that you're working for the money, but you're also scaling at a bigger scale.
'Cause
You're showing others at a very young age what they can be capable of.
Definitely. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, the life works as cause and effect. And if you do something towards something good will happen.
Amen to that.
That's how I've lived my life. And if you're stuck doing the same thing, then you're not doing something right. So you got to figure out where you're doing wrong and just keep improvising and trying until you get it.
I agree, man.
You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. So we're building an empire here and we're trying to do it good. One step at a day.
So we had a
Step
little
at
bit
a
of a
time.
conversation about last time of differences between the Jlopez brand and other brands out there. Now you worked the whole year. Now you're a leader in the industry, or at least in my industry, you became a leader that have brought on people that knew you as a different person and got to see the professional side. What would you done differently last year that you would do differently this year?
Last year to this year, I feel like last year I was doing different things. I would say.
In what
year,
way?
I consider myself like last year more of just technical side, just how can I fix the AC and how can I provide satisfaction to the customer. And now it's a little bit more of how I can get everyone together to be on the same page and help bring everyone along in the company so we can all get along, make money, provide the satisfaction that this company says it does to the customer, and just be able to have everyone happy and have a good workflow. Feels nice. To come
So last year, he was brought on again as a technician, as a residential tech. Now he is a team leader. He's brought on some team members, people that knew him in the past as a kid, and now got to see the professional side of who he is in the HVAC industry. And of course, last year he was, like he's saying, he was just getting the work done at his best effort. Now he's teaching others how to get the work done, right? So let's talk a little bit more. Let's talk about that. In regards to, okay, last year, do you have any regrets of that you would have done something better?
I honestly feel like I did a lot last year.
No regrets given, huh? I like the sound of that, bro, because you gave it your all. The reason why I ask is I wanted that specific answer. Because I know, and that's why now you're a team leader, right? So going into that subject, I've seen your effort into wanting to learn. Not everybody has that effort, you know. Not everybody's willing to come in and give it your all to learn the way you learn so fast, right?
I feel like as long, let's give it a number, just like 10 people.
10.
If I could impact one or two, that makes a difference. How I see it.
It makes a huge difference. I think you've impacted a few.
I hope so. I try.
Yeah, man. I think you along the way you've impacted a few. Man, just let's sink in and free ball this part now. What are the one thing that we're striving for this year?
This year?
Yeah.
I think in coming together and actually forming a good organized team in regards to where we could be more efficient. That way we don't get into fights with each other on this and that because you forgot and they forgot. No. We're going to create a workforce where everything is like this and like that everyone could follow and everything could be the same. That way we could maximize the efficiency and grow, scale. That's the number one thing we got to focus on this year, scaling. Yeah.
How do we, in your point of view, how do we scale?
From what we have now to where we want to be?
Yeah. I mean, we for sure did scale last year. From last year to this year,
yeah,
we doubled.
We did numbers.
We did some numbers. But again, we're not, I'm not so focused on the numbers. I'm focused on the people, like you said.
Yeah.
Who can we impact? How many more families we can help? And how do we combine the business, the friendship, so that none of that gets mistaken and we all create that healthy environment where the interest at the end of the day is growth?
How do we do it? I think first we have to have people that want to grow. You can't.
How do we find that, man?
You can't teach somebody something that doesn't want to be taught.
I think so.
How do you find it? I mean, where were you years ago when you were a tech looking for a new company?
Oh, you're asking guy. Now you're asking the question, guys, some questions, but I'll give it to you, man. Yeah. Where was I? I've always had a scaling personality, I would say. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to grow. Doesn't matter what I've done in my past, because I've done a few things. Whatever I've done is not only to be the best to myself, but to the world. Because it's just a particular personality that makes us that way. But again, we'll go back into your question. I'm gonna answer it for you so you can chill out. So you don't be the one getting asked questions all the time. Let's turn the ball around. Say that again. Ask me a question again.
When you were a tech and you were looking to either scale or move and find somewhere where you were comfortable and, wanting to grow with the company and the company wanting to grow for you.
Right. Where
did you go to find that company? Or let's say, how did you find the company?
I think the company found me. How
though? Since you were so far away from that specific company.
I just think my very one interest was to be the best in the space. I've always wanted to be the best regardless of where I worked. Right? I've worked in previous companies. I think that one company that changed my whole mentality was when I went up north to the Naples side of the world that has nothing to do with Miami. Right? I went up there to do commercial work, and I now saw myself lost, bro. Right? Because you're in Miami. You work for a company that throws you to do everything without knowledge because they're in need of people like you and I with
Yeah.
attitude that can just solve things and are willing to solve things, even though I was scared as shit. Super scared, by the way. I don't think there's something that goes away, right? Because I was working for a company in Miami. That's a sales guy. I my very first deal that impacted my life was a $1.2 million deal, one deal, and right after that I got fired. By the way,
What a deal.
what a deal, right? Matter of fact, I didn't collect any commission on that deal. And the reason I got fired was because they told me not to do something that I did. But then again, you can't tell me not to do something when my feelings are in the way. So that's one thing I would say. Don't get the feelings involved with business. I've learned that early on. So I got fired. I started back to zero. I was a sales guy closing $1.2 million deal. Of course, there was no contracts involved. That's how Miami thing goes. No contracts. You're just you're just the star. You're the sales guy.
You're here till you're not.
You're here till you're not, right? You're here till the boss kind of just doesn't like you anymore, or you didn't do what he said it was kind of like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a young kid, 22 years old, closing a $1.2 million deal. Didn't have a lot of things in play. Didn't know what a lawyer was supposed to do, or I didn't know if a lawyer should be involved. None of that. All of a sudden, never collected commission. Saw myself back into trying to look for that company. And the very one thing I did was go far away from here, bro. I wanted to go far away from family. I wanted to go far away from Miami.
Fresh start.
And I wanted a fresh start. So I did. I went and rented myself in a garage in Naples. Ooh.
Dang.
A garage with no windows that was made into an efficiency. $800 a month.
That's what you could afford at the moment, right?
I think I moved there with $2,000 in my pocket, by the way.
And you started
Because I was a
there.
sales guy making $3,000 a week commission, more or less. But then again, you're in Miami. You're blowing it.
Quick.
You're blowing it. This is the place for you to make money and spend money, right? So now I found myself back to square, back to zero, on an efficiency, far away from here, far away from family, chasing the one thing I knew how to do, air conditioning. The one thing I was taught to do, I was chasing it right then and again. I got the opportunity to work for a guy that he taught me a lot. I go back into being an apprentice right after I thought I knew so much. And I just let it be, man. I was an apprentice to one of Andy, hard Cuban, hardest Cuban I've known, and now I get to be his helper. Right after my ego was saying that, you're a hard closer, you're a big sales guy, I went back to square. I went back to zero. Being the helper for this guy, I had to humble myself, and I had to tell my ego that you're nobody. You're an apprentice again. So I was working there for about 6 months. Oh, by the way, I right after I rented 2 months later, I was closing in my first home at 23 years old. So if you're scared of starting from zero again, don't be, because you don't know what that zero can be to take you to the next level. Sometimes we got to run away from the things our ego kind of tells us that is okay, and then stay here, you stay safe, go back to a sales position. No, I just wanted to keep learning more about this industry. 2 months later, I'm closing on a good property, 23 years old. That's when I first had a taste of real estate and what that was. Again, it was in Cape Coral, where everything was cheap. Everything was a different price back then. Now, of course,
Inflation,
it's different now. But I find myself again in that situation where I'm an apprentice, learning from this guy that was treating me bad. His truck was a fucking disaster. You would have to, as soon as you open the door, any door, it'll everything will fall. But he had one thing, bro. He was willing to teach. He was willing to give me somehow all the experience he had in every call that we went on. He would detail things to me, and I would just shut myself and I would just stay quiet. Because, sometimes as Cuban, you have this attitude that you think you know it all.
Yeah.
So I had to teach myself that you don't know it all. You're an apprentice again.
I think about it, there's not one way to do everything. There's always a different way.
But answering your question with that little bit of the story behind is 6 months later, I got interested on a company that was doing millions and millions of dollars, and I applied as a commercial tech. From an apprentice to commercial tech. The guy that's doing the interview was Puerto Rican, amazing guy. That, long story short, he was on his way out, and he gave me the best opportunity of life. He did nail me with a bunch of questions that I have learned from a few years in the industry and a lot from the Andy guy, the Cuban guy. So here I am in a multi-million-dollar company that's running all the commercial division in Naples. It went all the way from Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Sarasota, and now they're in Tampa. So, again, 23 years old, commercial one. The oldest commercial guy there was or the youngest commercial guy there was about I think he was 53 years old. That he began to be my supervisor. And the charisma I had within trying to learn and treating everybody good made me fit in, right? Mm-hmm. I think that was one of the very good things I had in the company. And that's where, in that company, that's where I've learned systems. That's where I learned how to manage people, how to be better, and how to become better, because they were all about becoming better every single time.
Which is not a lot of things that companies down here are doing nowadays.
That's why I want to bring it on, because that's why I came back later on and said, I don't want to run away from home. I want to bring something home. And that's what we're trying to do, which is very hard. It's very easy to run a company how everybody's doing it, right? Yeah.
It's not a lot of importance.
Vague service. They don't put a lot of effort into. They all do the same, by the way. Yeah. Every AC company does the same. You get a call, you're there to fix the AC. But what makes us, now I'm gonna ask you, what makes us different?
It's not that we're just there to fix the AC. It's your AC. That means we're gonna attend to your needs the way that you need to be treated. So basically what I mean by that is, how are we gonna go into the homes? How are we gonna show you that we protect your environment, that we don't want to damage everything, that we want it to be done as if it was us doing it at our own house. Make sure that everything is how it should be, and we could guarantee you a quality service.
Yeah, because most companies, what they do is they go and fix their AC, but all of a sudden now we got a scratch on the wall. Mm-hmm. We got acid on the floor.
Not a lot of importance into what's around the AC.
That's what I've learned in that. That's what I've learned in Naples, that with that particular company, everything mattered. When we go in somebody's home, this not only has a price, but maybe has a sentimental value that you can't pay for. Sometimes, oh no, I broke it. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll pay for it. No, it's not that way, man. It's not that way, because you go home and this might have a sentimental value to me. So I've learned that things not only have a price, but a sentimental value. So therefore, when we go in somebody's home, covering that wall, covering that TV, covering that furniture, covering the floor makes the homeowners feel safe, right? Because you not only we're not only showing them that we're protecting their home, but we also care for their things and their surroundings, right? And that's already a win. Caring for the customer, it's already a win in my perspective.
Exactly. It's the first one you have to win. Then
So-
you fix the AC.
Now we go back to you, my brother. How do you become from a tech to a team leader in the space? What do you think? What do you think people should aim for once they enter a company that it's, of course, like us. Last year we started. It was just 4 of us.
I don't think you aim towards it. I mean, I never aimed towards it. I think when I first started, I just knew I was going to do something and be something. I didn't know what, and I still don't know what.
Mm.
But I know it's something big. So all I do every day is just keep pushing and keep trying. Trying to get better and just, waiting for the opportunity to come and for that next step.
You enter the right company, man.
Yeah.
We're in the growth, so we need more people like you for sure. All right, let's take it to a little bit of a commercial now that we can feel free and talk about it. Remember that first motor, that first big motor that you saw?
Mm-hmm.
How many horsepower was that one?
100.
100 horsepower. You went from changing a half a horsepower, maybe about this big, to
Small.
the first commercial job that I think you went on was this 100 horsepower and pump. No?
Yeah. All I knew is
How
that,
scared were you when you saw that job?
honestly, not much. I just was trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to do it. I feel like you do too. One way or
Well,
another.
I did it before. That's the thing.
You
I
had a lot
wasn't
of faith. Yeah, you had a lot of faith in just letting me do it.
right. I think you have to, man. At the end of the day, I think, of course, there was a lot of faith in you trying to do it, but it was also knowing that if you messed up, I was gonna be there to back you up. I had to give you the opportunity, and I had to rely that trust on you so that you see and you felt how that job was gonna come across, and that you mentally will come into thinking and strategizing ways of doing it.
Yeah, it's one of those where you go home, you go in the toilet, and you're still thinking about how you're gonna do it. It's one
I
of
think
those.
I think I didn't think much about that job, honestly.
Yeah, but you've done it before.
I didn't think much about that job. The one job I did think a lot of was the helicopter job. I can't wait for you to experience that.
That's
Where how do you see yourself doing a helicopter job?
How do I see it?
Yeah.
Probably with Mike and the drone looking at it.
No, if we got helicopters on the scene, Mike can be on the drone.
That's right.
Yeah, so tell me, let's go into dreams. How do you see yourself doing a helicopter job? How do you think you're gonna get prepared for that? What's gonna
It's gonna
take
take
you
a lot
there?
of planning.
Yeah, that we do regardless of the situation. But you mentally, how do you prepare yourself to get that $1 million deal?
Mentally?
Yeah. Not only mentally, but also you got to become a way better leader. You got to become a way better sales guy.
Mm-hmm.
You already learned the ways of how we treat everybody in their condominiums with love and trust.
Mm-hmm.
But what's going to take us to the next level? What's going to take us to do that job? What do you think we should work on to do that helicopter job?
I feel like definitely setting roles onto what position everyone holds.
That's one. Come on, give me more.
That
Let me pick on your brain a little bit so I can learn from you.
into doing a helicopter job for, let's say, a project like we have in Fort Lauderdale, something
Right.
like that. So I think definitely a lot of planning, talking. I probably have to call a couple people and ask some questions.
You've done that before. It's no right. It's not different from any other job. That's not what I'm looking for. I know you got that in you already. You got all the planning. You've already closed. You've closed already more than $300,000 deals at once. So you know that takes planning. You know that takes a lot of calls. You know that takes a lot of estimates.
Yeah.
It's all about the same thing. It's just, what do you think will take us to that helicopter job, to that $1 million job?
You were asking me, what do you think it takes to get to that helicopter job?
Right.
I think what it takes is that we have to maintain our quality and service in the company. Also, the trust that we provide to whoever we're working with, and being able to maintain that account for when the time is right that they do have to change that unit or that tower or that chiller, whatever it is, that big job. They're going to have the trust in that we maintain their system for that long. We provided this much lifespan extra for them that they're going to trust us in paying whatever it is for us to do that big job. And I think that's how we're going to do it.
Because, again, it's not only what we're going to do. Everybody can do the same job. There's a lot of companies out there that can do the same job. The reason behind it is why we do what we do, right? That's what gives the condominiums, the managers, the association, the board, the president of the board, the trust, because we maintain quality, man. Quality and service. That's the answer I was looking for. Everybody's going to do the same job. Like I said, it's not.
Somebody's going to do it.
There's a lot of companies out there that are going to be bidding on it. The reason why they're going to choose us over anybody else in the industry is the why. Because we care about everybody in the building way before we even started that bid. Just a regular day. Walk me through a regular day you're going into a condominium.
Regular day?
Regular day. Just as soon as you're driving up, walk me through that day.
Well, as soon as you go up, you got receiving just pulling up, ready to park you, even though there is no parking spot. They'll even move the manager out the way. So that's one. You don't get that a lot. Two is you could just go into the office because we have that trust with them. Or
they have that trust in us.
They have that trust in us, should I say. Where we could go in there and comfortably speak how you and me are speaking right now and have a normal conversation.
Correct.
We're not just there for business. At the end of the day, it's like a community in there, how I've said before. So it makes me feel good in knowing that they trust me in taking care of their luxury building, their luxury apartment, whatever it is. And having the faith in that I could do it and do it the proper way and not damage anything that's in the way, and making sure that everything is the same or better than how I found it.
That's spot on, bro. So you walk in receiving. Usually the receiving guy, back in my days, usually the receiving guy was the one guy that would tell you, hey, listen, go park.
Yeah, go F off.
Go park somewhere else, dude. But now it's like you said, even if the manager needs to be moved, they will move the manager's car for us to put a truck there. Because they know our work is important to the building. But not only because our work is important to the building, is because the way we carry ourselves as a team. We come in there and even shake hands with the garbage guy, even though we don't have nothing to do with the garbage guy.
We'll still say hi.
We've done late nights. Even the security guys over at doing the overnight knows who we are because he's not afraid to call. He's not like the first thing we tell him is, man, I if you do have to call me, let it be the first guy you call. I don't want you to wake up the manager. If it's got something to do with the AC, don't wake up the manager, wake me up. Because by the time he knows that his building was under any type of circumstance, we've already fixed it.
Yep.
And that's what's happened. Because we open the door for the lady behind us. We say and we do the things that others aren't willing to do. So, okay. How do
Things that
you
others
the other day we because now it's a little bit simple now. You go into some now let's take it to the other extreme what happened the other day.
Yeah, so it's
'Cause
not
we
like
went-
that everywhere.
You know, yeah, people might take my mistake that the people are just bragging about that one building that they walk in. So we went ahead. Miguel went ahead and told me, "How did you start?" And I want to see how you went door knocking. So we did that the other day in about 4 buildings. We door knocked here and there. Tell me how you felt about that. Because I know you were looking to see what the different
The
response
outcome,
were,
yeah.
right? So I knew what they were. But once again, thank you for putting me in that situation because it takes me back to the very beginning. And I think we should do it more often so that all this facade that we think that the receiving guy is gonna be very, very friendly and the lobby guy is gonna be very friendly. So now walk us through that first building that we went and knocked on.
Well, the first one we went to was we got there and the fire alarm went off. You know?
As soon as we walk in the
Hi, how
lobby,
you doing? Beep, beep. Oh, I gotta go.
as soon as we walk in the lobby, I don't know what happened. The fire alarm goes off and everything just went south.
Yeah, everyone just took off.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're like, huh? Oh, all right, bye. Come back later.
We did go back later,
So,
and we're gonna keep going back.
yeah, we're gonna keep going back till we get that meeting.
Of course, that's the attitude. That's the attitude I had towards the very beginning. So, okay, then the other buildings, what happened?
Bro, tell me how they call us for service and then they neglect our service.
Right? They called us
I
for.
don't get it.
By the way, this is a building that called for an estimate, and we're there trying to provide the estimate, but they're not really asking us
What the estimate's for?
what the estimates. I'm trying to ask what the estimate's for. Like, what do you guys need? And all of a sudden, no answer. Whoop, beep, beep. You know, it's like what happened here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a waste of time. But you live, you learn.
Right? Hey. And what about that other guy that we went to the front desk? We
Oh yeah. Oh no, we already got somebody. Well, I know you got somebody. But
do they quit the? Yeah, how do we get
how
across?
do they help you out? Do they just fix it and leave, or do they actually, take a look at the whole thing and provide you with a detailed report on what you actually have? That way you know what you actually have. A lot of people, they fix it now, 5 years later. Oh, nobody ever told me. Of course.
Or they fix it now and they're calling back 2 days
Yeah.
because
So-
they might have done something, but they didn't really get to the bottom of the
And then
problem.
They complain on regards of service and quality, but they're choosing the cheapest route. So that's of course that's what you're gonna get at the end of the day. On a big company, that's just how it goes nowadays.
Right.
They don't really care about it because they're already big. They have nothing. They don't care about you because they have 100 over there.
Right.
So that's the difference that we kind of provide right now, is that we're not only providing quality and service, but attending to different manners that different buildings might need in different ways. For
The other day, we also experienced that we're not just the AC guy, and we were talking about how do we let people know that we're not just the AC guy.
Yeah, I mean, so far we've done videos and verbal, but definitely have to work on a way to get the audience that we're trying to target to know.
It's not just about an audience because now we're working for high-end condominiums. But I think it goes above and beyond AC people, It goes for example, they didn't even know that we do fire alarms. Or at least do know about dampers. or they don't know we do mechanical work. They don't know we do VFDs.
Yeah.
Because again, you go in a building, they see you young, and they just assume you only fix
yeah,
AC.
When I go in the new building, people just look at me out. There's a mini split. Can you fix it? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
This is nothing. But it's normal to assume that.
Right.
I mean, you had the same in
I still do, by the way.
encounters. So
I think we're very young in the space. People mistaken that we're young, and
people think it takes a certain amount of time to be able to achieve that, but not everyone's the same. I mean, you could learn it faster than somebody else did. How? By them showing you the ways that they messed up, so you don't take those routes.
but not only that. I mean, the thing is that we're very professional. On when it comes to when I've been very professional when it comes to working. I can set aside, and I think I've lived very, very fast. In the past 10 years, I think I've had so many experiences that, of course, it makes me a little bit wiser. And like you said, I had the ability to gain wisdom from others. Like you said, just if they're telling you not to make that mistake,
like you said, somebody that was
sometimes-
willing to teach you.
Right.
There's not a lot of now.
I think there is. Just
Well,
not in the space, honestly.
yeah, a lot of the older people, they have to like you, let's say.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, they
because
have
a
to
lot
like
of
you.
people they just because I remember. Talk to me when you would talk to me about that. When you were trying to work for somebody, when you were working for somebody else that you were still yet trying to learn, but they were trying to hide everything,
They started me off when I started off being an apprentice for a tech. It was basically an old guy, let's say 70 something, 80 years old,
Jeez,
and it was
that guy didn't even want to work anymore.
No. He sits down here, I drive there. You gotta drive with two hands. You can't let go of one hand. Eyes on the road. Take off your glasses so you can see that you got your eyes open, and don't touch the radio. I'll be falling asleep, but don't touch it. And then it's carry all his tools. You just sit on the bucket. This is like this. This is like that. This is like that. He'll go smoke in the garage, and you do the work.
That's it. No,
But
no,
it was very repetitive, so I guess that's why I got used to
right.
that, and I understood it better. But
What you were doing at that time?
it was 6 months of the same thing every day.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, that's consistency.
I think at the 4th month, I was about to quit.
The fourth one.
Yeah, I told them, I was like, bro, if you don't put me alone or with somebody else, I'm out. It was like month 5 or something that they gave me a truck and I started.
What would you say to those that are watching that will DM me a lot, but run through that scenario real quick, Miguel, because you remember, run me through the scenario. How many times you texted me throughout Instagram for an opportunity?
Yeah, it was a couple times. It was a couple times. I mean, honestly, I didn't really know I was looking into commercial. I just knew I was looking for a change.
What did you see in because when you used to text me, it was just me in the truck. It was just Joe in the truck.
What I saw was something
Because
different.
all I was doing was the same job I've been doing all my life. I just started posting a little bit more, doing a little bit of stories. I was by myself, couldn't even hire a helper. Just grinding and just exposing a little bit of what I was doing. And somehow it attracted you into coming this way.
So what I saw is what I was looking for is something different. You get me? Like I said, it was the same thing repetitive.
Right.
After that, it was just, do a startup, get an attic, and do one service call. Go home.
Wow.
So, like, I saw you post this, big motors, using cranes. It looked cool. It looked like what they were talking about when I first started trade school. That I had no idea what it was. What's a chiller? What's this? What's a tower? I don't know.
Right.
So I always had, since the beginning, something in me that said, I want to do this, but I want to do it big. So once I saw you, I was like, damn.
The small guy,
This guy could do it. I think he could teach me. I could do it.
If he can do it, I can do it.
That's what I'm saying.
He ain't got nothing. It's this little Cuban guy,
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Pretty
Man.
much.
If you want to learn, you can learn.
I like that, man. Thank you for being here. And the goal is to bring as many people as we can on board to do the one thing we love to do, because at the end of the day, I think what I do is what I'm very passionate of. I wake up, it's not like I wake up and I go to work. I wake up and, well, now in the mornings I do.
No,
In the mornings, now that headache is passed on to you.
no, but honestly, like I said, like when I first started, it was like you would wake up, it's like, I gotta go with this old guy again. Fuck.
Right.
It's a little different now. I kind of like I wake up like ready to go. Like yesterday, I was excited to get up. I was like, let's go, let's start this
From
week.
Sunday to Monday.
Yeah,
Jeez.
because I know what's to come,
Right.
so I'm ready for it.
Oh, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I feel the same Sundays. Sundays are
Don't get me
Sundays.
wrong.
Sundays are a thankful day. I get to spend it with my family, of course, re-energize. But I do have that feeling of getting that Monday started, man.
It's
Getting
another
that week
to
started,
do.
just getting here in the morning, facing everybody, just being able to lead the way and make everybody feel that we're working towards something and not just money.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem like just a job
Right.
at the end of the
What
day.
makes that?
Just a job?
Yeah. No, what makes us not feel just a job?
Well, if it was just a job, everyone would leave home. Nobody would talk to each other, So we're trying to get better in communication and seeing how we could help each individual and what they're having a hard time on learning, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So if we could help each person on each little task that they're struggling with and help upbring them, then they could help upbring others. And that's how we could form the whole community that we're trying to do. It's people that want to lead and help
Right.
grow.
Right. And again, we're here to provide that. We're here to, as the leaders now in the
Yeah.
space. We wanna invite you that probably are watching to come on over, man. And if you don't know what's next in your life, you don't know what's the next step, and you might have even thought that a labor or skill job like this one could be for you, but you're scared because it's too hands-on. It's fun. We're going to teach you not only how to be hands-on, but we're also going to teach you to be better, become better, and enjoy what we do, because at the end of the day, it's about enjoying the journey.
Yeah.
How have you enjoyed this journey in the past year? Because there's been a lot of work.
Yeah.
Not we can't lie to the audience and
It's not like we've been
it's
slacking.
not like we've been going home at 3.
But it's
There's
how,
been long nights. There's been headache nights. But at the end of the day, you want to wake up the next day and go to work.
Mhm.
So what's about all those headaches of last year? Tell me about 3 things that you've enjoyed, so we can wrap this up.
3 things that I've enjoyed.
About 3 things that you've enjoyed about being in the industry, about being in the company, and about sharing this time with us.
Well, for one, I'd say like that trip we did to Orlando with the whole class. That was really good. I mean, I never really got to have any like technical training like that. So I really took that time and absorbed a lot. As you see, like, I didn't know anything about freaking Aeon when I started.
Right.
What the fuck is Aeon?
Who are they?
Yes.
AAON. Aeon. But
Yeah,
again, they're the leading industry.
exactly.
They're the most sophisticated units that well, there's others, of course, but we now, what he's talking about is I took him to an Orlando seminar type of thing that it was 2-3 days.
3 days.
It was a 3-day class, learning from the simplest thing to the most detailed things on working on Aeons. And I'm looking forward to doing more of that, by the way. I'm looking forward to going to Orlando again now
Yeah.
for a big convention they have.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that I'm also proud of, that we want to keep bringing more people not only to learn, but we can bond and get to see the industry outside.
Yeah, I feel like a big thing is people think just HVAC and it's just fixing an AC, and it's way more than that. Like I've gotten to see that over the years. There's not it's going from fixing an AC to who makes it to who sells it to how everything distributes. There's a whole bunch of roles to play, and it's not just the technical side for people that don't want to be hands on. And a lot of people don't know that in the beginning.
Right.
You know.
So definitely more trainings, which we now have, and we'll be the leaders of it, in-house training.
Yeah.
Let's implement more of other brand trainings, and tell me a second one you've enjoyed so far.
The second one.
Tell me a second one you've enjoyed so far working for Jlopez.
I definitely found out how to be a plumber this year.
You've enjoyed being a plumber?
Bro, honestly, I don't know. It's weird to me. I like having those moments where shit just hits the fan.
Right.
Cause then you see and you
But
know.
what's plumber got to do with what we do, man? What plumbing got to do with
pipe that
AC?
exploded.
Oh, man.
The 6-inch one.
Boof. Boof. Oh, yeah. Because, well, as you guys know, we do a lot of mechanical work, not just AC, right? So in this particular job, we were working on a 6-inch pipe that when it was all put together and it was start time, it was chaotic. It was just poof, and we started all over again. I went out there, and that was another moment where you guys messed up.
What time we leave that
I
job?
think
like
we
2 in the morning?
Like 2 in the morning, man.
And we started at 12?
Yeah, because the second time around it was chaotic again, and the third time around I did it.
It held a little bit.
It's holding till now.
So we say.
It's holding till now.
Yeah, because I tightened the bolts.
Yeah, this time around. So you enjoyed that night?
Bro, yeah.
The hard working night, you've enjoyed it? That was the least thing I would have thought you enjoyed, man.
Yeah, bro. It's moments like that kind of like, I don't know.
Teaches you to do it right the first time, huh?
It's a learning experience.
Yeah.
It won't happen again, but it's a good, like, it was a fun night. Come on.
It was a fun night.
Come on.
Oh, man. No, fuck you. Well, man, come on, man. I was a little pissed because not only you that were there knew how to do the job right, but it was just those learning experience for sure. So, all right, it was a fun night. We got to at the end of the day, we got to solve the problem and correct it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I understood why you need to do so and so it could work.
Right?
Why there's procedures.
There's procedures that you didn't go to school for, but now you know.
Yeah, no, I know.
Now experience gave you those procedures because cutting corners led to us leaving at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right? Because if the job would have been done right the first time around,
5, 6, we would have did.
yeah, it was hard because you needed to put that extra work into what you were doing, but you thought that just by cutting that corner, not sanding it right, just gluing it was going to hold. And all of a sudden,
Because
boof.
you know what happened there? Remember, that was what, like my second, third month?
Right,
I've never worked on high pressure water pipes.
right.
I thought it was like a drain line.
It was a condensate drain. It was
Yeah,
it's just gonna flow.
I totally forgot.
And it was also an elbow, so where that whole pressure was hitting that elbow. Wow.
No, but honestly, I forgot. Like,
I even forgot about that
It
night.
left my brain that there's 80 psi going through those pipes.
Right.
So, yeah, but now I know.
No, now you know.
Now I know.
Now we've done things at a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Now we worked on cold water. Now we worked on even higher pressure. So now,
Cold, hot.
you know,
whatever it
cold,
is.
hot, whatever it is. Now you got more experience, and of course that led you to that. So give me a third one that you've enjoyed so
Third
far.
Third one.
What have you enjoyed working for Jlopez?
I'm trying to think.
Damn, it's that hard.
So, no, there's a lot of things.
Oh, there's a lot of
I
things.
have more moments of pipes bursting.
No, but that's about it. Just give me a third one, a really good one, so we can close this out.
A
Why
really
would you
good
have
one.
enjoyed working for Jay?
I think I've enjoyed starting from just being like regular apprentice, let's say, regular residential tech, into who I am now, supervisor. I feel like it's definitely been, oof, what a mountain this year,
In 1 year.
in 1 year.
Yeah. So you've
I still think
enjoyed.
about it and it overwhelms me, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But it only makes me think, wow, I did it in 1 year. So imagine in 2, in 3.
Well, we got ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
at the end of the day, this year I've kind of just, how you usually say, just let God take you. You
Yeah,
know?
man. It's
In
God's work.
arms. Yeah.
It's God's work. So let's close this out with this one last question. What do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oof. I probably won't be in Miami.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
I think in the next 5 years I'd be 28.
Yeah.
I think I should be established and not even be going to the company. I think I can work it. It's been a goal that I've had before 30 at least,
To do what?
to retire.
To retire at 30.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever retire, bro. It's not in us. I think you think of I think you think
gotta choose though.
yeah, but I think you think of retirement as retiring, but probably the way you see it is just being at home managing the whole scenario.
Yeah.
At a bigger scale.
Yeah.
That's not retiring. That's just working your way up to being the CEO of the company, maybe, or leading many branches at one. What do you see Jlopez in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, wow. Look what we've done in 1. I think in 5 years we could probably be worked up into like Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina area. Work
So
up the
we've
coast.
already taken over Florida by then.
Yeah, I think we could do it in 4 years.
In 4 years, we've taken over Florida.
Yeah.
I like the way you think, man. Somebody must have taught you that. Guys, we're wrapping it up with that right there. Taking over Florida in the next 4 years.
Yep.
Not by me, set by
2028.
Miguel. So let's
Oh,
get
no,
it, guys. It's been
2029, we coming for you.
we're coming. Subscribe, hit like, follow this guy, all the above. It's been nice. It's been amazing having you till the end. We love you, Jay.
Peace.